Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at the Tesla semi-truck that has been spotted in Europe. But the people are asking, why is this vehicle in Europe? Even more interesting, I don't know if you notice, but at the top, it's kind of missing. And I'm not saying the entire thing is missing, but some of it is missing. Now, for the simplest reason why this vehicle is in Europe, I don't even have to read the article to know. It's obviously here for some sort of testing. I mean, why else would they bring it here for a car show? No, 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 no. It's here for some sort of testing. You got to realize that Tesla has one of the best, if not the best, self-driving softwares in the world for vehicles. They want to test this as much as possible, but also, the vehicle will eventually need to be sold in Europe. So they want to get it here as soon as possible. They want to get it European certified, essentially. They want to get this vehicle European certified, essentially. And you can see because it's an American version, it's still got those mirrors. Now, in Europe, you're much more likely to see newer vehicles, new trucks with cameras. It's much more common. It's becoming a more and more common thing. So that is something that Tesla might have to consider also. Let's not forget that Tesla is the same company that has a factory in Germany. They've already got this in Germany and everything. So that German factory could eventually be building and selling these vehicles. So we're really not too far from seeing these vehicles in Europe as a complete normal thing. We're not too far from that. And as charging infrastructure continue to improve, I am telling you, these things. And not to mention, I think one of the things that these trucks would be very good at, something that they're probably already doing already to obvious reasons, is regen energy, recuperating energy. I've driven an electric vehicle, and when you take your feet off the accelerator, the vehicle just pulls you right back. It just pulls you right back. It's like gravity just holds you back. It just regains a lot of its energy. Now this is best done with the right drivers. The driver is the key part in this. If it was up to the software to dictate this on its own, these vehicles could recuperate anywhere from 5, 10, 20% of its energy with hundreds of miles on a single charge. With the driver being in charge, humans do drive very inefficiently, especially when it's not our money being wasted. So you can see how long term self driving software will help to improve this. Now, self driving software, will that replace the driver completely? At the start, maybe not, because self driving software like Tesla FSD will still be used to a certain degree, similar to any sort of autopilot that you have in your car, cruise control. It still needs a driver input. Eventually, it won't. But for now, the driver is still a key part of this. So I say for the next 5 years, people don't have to really worry about their jobs. But after that, I can't say for sure. But yeah, it's officially in Europe. This is good to see. So certification is a big thing. They want certification. They want to become more familiar with European roads. For a truck, not just for a Tesla vehicle, for a truck. It's different. European roads are tiny for a truck. Tiny for a truck. Well, I don't know about Germany. They kind of invented the motorway and the highway. But when you look at places like France, UK, we have some old, tiny roads. I don't know about Germany. Once again, I don't know, but I would assume similar for Germany. It's just a European thing. It's old countries with old cities that are still using slightly old infrastructure that has been somewhat updated, but it's still tiny compared to the American version of roads. American roads are just it's just great. I'm telling you, I don't think Americans fully understand what it's like to drive large vehicles in Europe. I don't think they understand. I drive large vehicles, so I would know. I drive large vehicles in Europe, so I would know. But I don't think they understand. A lot of the driving, there is no space. There is nowhere to go. You just have to figure it out. You just have to be that good of a driver. Very small room for error. I think in America, bigger roads, newer country, There's a lot of room for errors and mistakes. So it's just different. It's just so training that vehicle in America versus training it in Europe are two totally different things. Also, for signs, just the roads are designed very differently, actually, very differently. Different sides of the road that you drive on. No, it's a Tesla Semi has been spotted in Europe around Germany, but it's not clear why the vehicle is unavailable in the region. Well, I'd say it's a combination of like approval, but also the fact that Tesla is still working on this thing. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's not like these vehicles that are selling out in America. It's not like you're seeing them everywhere now. It's not like they are the obvious vehicle to buy as a truck instead of a diesel. Diesel's vehicles can still run up to hundreds of miles. I don't know if you know, it's diesel trucks can hold a lot of fuel. Those things, and on motorways, highways, they can drive for hundreds of miles. Forget about stopping. And if you do want to stop, it's for the driver to have a break, because with European laws, it's very different from American laws when it comes to drivers and their break and their hours. So I would imagine right now, for the last few years, Tesla's been working on this vehicle for the American market. Perhaps now they have the time, they have the patience, they have the availability to work on this vehicle for the European market, which is very different in a lot of different ways. So I'd probably say that's why the vehicle isn't available in the regions. It's not as easy. This is an electric vehicle. It's not like a normal semi truck. It's still, and Tesla is still working to improve this vehicle. Speaking of which, I saw this post by Felix. He said, "Hi Elon, did you install LiDAR on the Tesla Semi?" Very good question. We kind of need answers, to be honest. Now, first thing that I noticed is that this truck, missing roof, also closely resembles the truck that we have now in Germany. It's not the same vehicle, but I'm just saying, whatever stage they're in on working on this truck, you can see the similarities despite the regions. So Tesla is well known for getting rid of LiDAR and using more cameras. But I think it's starting to come back to reality that possibly a combination of both might be necessary. A combination of cameras and LiDARs might be very necessary. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that they're working on right now, and they don't just want to work on it in America, but they also want to work on it in Europe as well. I would not be surprised. And why not start in Germany? Why not? It's the perfect place to start. The trucking business, the automotive business is big in Germany. So the trucking business in Germany is not just for Germany. They travel to France, they travel to Belgium, they travel to Netherlands, they travel to Poland, they travel everywhere in Europe, pretty much. They travel to Norway, Sweden, they travel everywhere. I don't care about bridges. They travel to the UK sometimes, underwater tunnels. They travel everywhere. And that's the same goes for every European country. That's just how connected Europe is. But why not start in Germany? They have a manufacturing plant there. It's the perfect place to start. Where do you expect them to start? France? I don't know. They don't have a factory in France. So apparently, while officially in production since late 2022, Tesla Semi is still a rare sight in the US. Only about 100 units are estimated to be in operation, mainly in California. That's why it's surprisingly to see a Tesla Semi in Europe. I understand that, but it's no surprise that these vehicles haven't been really selling in America. And I don't think that's by accident. I think that's deliberate by Tesla. I think there's still a lot they're working on these vehicles to improve. I do. I do. You know, so they probably hit a stage now where they want to start that work in Europe as well, because they're probably at that stage where they're probably going to start selling a lot of these things in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So why not get it ready for all places, not just America? So I'm not surprised that it's starting its testing in Europe. Of course. Why would you be surprised? It's supposed to, just because it's not selling out a lot in America. That is deliberate. That is not by accident. You know, this vehicle is still in testing. It's still in R&D. It is still an unfinished product, in my opinion. There's still a lot they've been improving on. So Tesla has previously talked about bringing the Semi to Europe, but it's admitted that it's going to have to modify the truck to adapt to European regulations. As I said, they're probably going to get rid of those mirrors and add cameras. they don't have to. I don't think they have to, but it's the way Europe has been going. It's what Europe is mostly using on new vehicles, not just trucks, but also buses, vans, cars. So many vehicles in Europe right now are being produced using cameras, instead of mirrors. But also, that's just one thing. There's so many other things that they will have to change and adjust to conform with European regulations. So why would they wait another year, 2, 3 years to begin testing and getting this truck ready for Europe? Why would they wait? You don't have to. You can start right now. Yeah, start as soon as possible. So Elon actually said that Tesla would bring the truck to production at the Giga factory in Berlin eventually. Eventually, of course. So for now, we can only speculate, but it's going to be built in Germany, then research into adapting it into Europe would have started somewhere. Well, yeah, that's what I just said, Yeah. Um, just a quick comment. Anyway, but if Tesla is expected to bring the electric truck to production at the new factory being built outside of Giga Nevada near Reno, the factory is expected to start semi-production in late 2025. So why is the Tesla in Europe now? It will be displayed at an upcoming IAA show in Germany next month. So it will be at a show. I wouldn't have thought that. Anyway, it could be as simple as, but Tesla could also be bringing a semi to Europe to start the work of adapting, of course. Two birds with one stone. So so that's a simple fact, it was inevitable. We expected this. In fact, we've been waiting on this for a few years now. Like, when is this thing going to arrive in Europe and start its testing and its adjustments and, all of those things? When is it going to arrive in Europe? It finally has. Hooray. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more. Leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Let me know what you think. Peace.